Hey guys, what's up? It is Saturday. We don't have any jobs today and nothing planned for tomorrow. So I'm taking the chance to be here at the storage unit and get some maintenance done. I'm going to try to put the hitch back on the Gravely. I had to take it off because a couple weeks ago I actually got stuck on the ramp because of the way the ball sticks down. So I'm going to be pulling that off and trying to figure out something else I can put on there. So it doesn't get stuck on the ramp when I pull down, but still a good strapping point because I was using that to strap the back of the mower down. I'm also going to be trying to take off the blades and sharpen them today if I get a chance, and also going to be hanging up our new banners that finally came in on the side of the truck, so we'll be doing that too, hopefully. So, just a little stuff here and there. I also, unloaded the ladder. Got all of our hand tools out of the small truck to put back here on the big truck because of that cleanup we did yesterday. Put some the Milwaukee stuff back inside of the toolbox and stuff like that. So, little stuff like that here and there. Are doing. But before we get to any of that stuff, that's not what I want to talk about. We fired our first customer this week. And when I mean first, I don't mean just the first customer that we fired, but also the first customer that approached us for service. And that was, if you remember here, when I did the startup video for our winter 2019 startup, that was the storage complex. When I came and got the unit and started putting the truck in here, they actually approached us about us starting to do their service because the previous guys that they were using still at the time wasn't showing up on time, and they weren't showing up, and then also they weren't answering calls and stuff like that when they were calling about stuff. And they were forgetting stuff. So, reluctantly, the thing is, when we took it, we shouldn't have took it because it was kind of a bigger pain in the ass job than we thought it was going to be. But we had kind of that new company money sign, dollar signs in our eyes kind of thing when we looked at the property. So reluctantly, we gave a bid to them about the price for the property, and they wanted. At the time, they wanted a bi-weekly, they wanted it mowed. One section that you've seen us trim in the back near the trailer is trimmed, which is a pain because it's all trimmer work. And we're having to trim around boat trailers and stuff like that. And then the fence line's trimmed and then sprayed. And at the time, we're thinking, okay, that's fine because we're going to spray the fence lines. We were given permission to spray everything inside of the gravel, so we don't have to trim it or mow it, and then spray 6 inches to a foot away from the fence line, which means if done properly, we'd never really have to trim anywhere except that back section by the trailer. So we went ahead and gave them a quote, and they actually they took a couple weeks to get back to approve it, and they approved it. So here's when the first problem started, and when we first started realizing how much of a headache this customer was going to be. So they approved it, but the manager that works here wouldn't give us a start date. He every time I called, oh yeah, no, I need to go out there and look and see what time they want us to you need to start cutting and stuff like that. So we waited a month. Just about a little over a month for them to call us back and tell us, okay, yeah, you've been you can start this date, and then we'll start going on the bi-weekly schedule. So, and into this time where we're waiting, we noticed the property got mowed by the old company. Well, when I contacted the manager, he said, oh, well, the office girl was supposed to fire them. And I still got to get out there to see when I needed to start. So we're looking at, a a little over a month, and I finally get the go ahead. Okay, yeah, this is when we need. You can start this day. This is when we need to cut, and this was just before Christmas. Um, we did our first service, which you've seen mowing in the rain. However, that was our first service, but the problem was they switched it from a bi-weekly to a monthly. So we were okay, well, yeah, that's fine, I guess. The grass isn't growing right now, and they said in spring they'd switch it back to a bi-weekly, and then we could start mowing bi-weekly. So, okay, no big deal. That first day was kind of a pain. It rained. I got all the mowing done. We did all the edging and stuff like that, and I had to come back the next day to touch up a couple little spots and to finish up mowing that back section. Not a big deal. And then we went to Houston that weekend, and we came back. And then you saw now 2 weeks ago to the day, or we might have did it, no, tomorrow, Sunday, would be 2 weeks exactly. We mowed again. And the problems I had then was in the month since we had mowed, the ground squirrels had moved in, and there were a lot of molehills. And there were sections of it that were so difficult to mow because I'm running over molehills. And that's when I threw the belt because of molehills and stuff like that. So it was a headache. And we had finally gotten the spray at the request of the manager, and we had sprayed everything. Well, unbeknownst to us, it rained that night after we had sprayed. Out of our control. So, we were hoping, okay, maybe it'll stay, the poison would stick and kill the plants. And there's a couple spots where it did. But the problem, it really didn't. So, we went ahead and sent our invoice at time service, like we had discussed with the manager and stuff like that. And didn't hear back anything for a week. Come Monday, this past Monday, Martin Luther King Day, I got a call from the manager, and he said, "Oh, hey, yeah, the grass looks great, it's all mowed, stuff like that, but there seems to be a couple, sorry about that, somebody's driving by with a trailer. There seems to be a couple spots where you missed the weeds and stuff like that." And I let him know, we sprayed and weeded as usual, but it rained that night, and we can't really do anything about, if it rains. That's a natural occurrence, we can't do that. And he asked if we were going to have a chance to come out there and touch up, and I'm like, yeah, we can do that, but I'm not going to have any time till this weekend. And he was totally okay with it. Yeah, that's fine. That's great and all that stuff, I'll see you out there this weekend. No big deal. He had told us one of the reasons he didn't let us know. Now I'll let you know, this is a full week later. So we did it on Saturday, or on Sunday, and there was that whole full week. Then there was last weekend, and then Monday. So we did the service on the 10th, and he waited till the 20th to call us. And he had told us that he hadn't had a chance to get out there in a full week. So keep that in mind. So that's no big deal. I told him, understandably, we can't control the weather. It rained and washed off a lot of poison, and it's been a week since you looked at it. Weeds pop up in a week. The grass doesn't grow weekly speed, but the weeds are, and we can't control that. You switched us to a monthly schedule, and he was fine with that. So fast forward to Tuesday, the next day, he calls me again, saying, "Hey, is there any way I can get you to come out there today and touch up those weeds? My boss, the owner of the company, is coming." Once again, I told him, "I'm sorry, there's no way for me to get out there until this weekend. We're only open and work Saturday through Sunday. That I have another full-time job, Monday through Thursday, and I don't have time in my schedule to open up to get in there." So, once again, he was like, "Okay, yeah, no, I understand that, and, that's fine and all that stuff." So, next day, Wednesday, we still haven't been paid, still haven't received, the invoice has been viewed, but we still haven't received either a card payment through our system or any confirmation that a check was mailed. anywhere in Texas, generally mail runs about 3 or 4 days. So now we're going a week and a half overdue on payment. So on Wednesday, we send a reminder. You know, our usual friendly reminder that we send. Hey, payment's overdue. We completed the service on this date, and we're looking to receive payment. No big deal on our part. It's what we normally do, and we don't have to do it too often. Luckily, our customers pay pretty well. So the response, now this is where everything starts getting a big stink. When we get the response back from the lady that we had emailed, which is, we had 2 separate emails. One where we emailed the tickets, the invoices to, and then one who we talked to about the invoices and stuff. So we send the invoice, the reminder, and then we get a rather rude, snobby email back with pictures of weeds in just a couple spots, 3 or 4 spots. And now, mind you, this whole property is about close to 200,000 square feet of mowing and edging. Now, mowing, trimming, edging. And then also, the other thing is, when I gave the quote, there was a whole section of property that I was not told was part of the property until after we gave the quote and accepted the job. And then they told us, oh yeah, by the way, that over there needs to be done too. That's ours. So that was one of our first annoyances. Anyways, so out of 200,000 square feet of mowing and edging, they sent us 5 pictures of 5 spots where there's weeds. Of course, these are spots that I know, okay, yeah, no, I hit those with both spray and trim, but it's been a week and a half now, and it's rained 3 or 4 times since then, and weeds are weeds, they pop up. You got us mowing on a monthly schedule. However, there's weeds that pop up. Can't control that. And we can't do touch-ups for free. You waited a week before you even called us to let us know there's anything wrong. So it kind of comes to one of those things where we can't really control it. And the email we got was rude and snobby, saying you really should come get these spots, and Tony had spoken so highly of you and this and that, and it's really unprofessional that you would leave stuff like this, and how can you expect payment when there's stuff that needs to be done, and we really need you to come do this and stuff, blah, blah, all this stuff, and a relatively rude email. And we had responded, at that point, once we saw this, we're like, it is no longer worth the headache for this customer to deal with this for what we make on this job. And I'll let you know, we get $350 to mow this property. It roughly takes us 3 to 6 hours depending on the weather and conditions. This last time it took us 6 hours because of the belts and the molehills and all this and that and the extra spraying and stuff like that. So, we're at that point, we're like, okay, no, we received this rude message. We've told them twice that we don't have time to get out there until this weekend. We were fully intending on going out there this weekend and touching up those the spots mentioned to us, and then we get this rude email. So, and they're saying in the part of their email is like, perhaps we'll be happier with going back to the old company, and and your services may not be. At that point, we were done. We're like, no, it's our business. We're not going to be talked down to and treated like this. So we replied back with an email, very nicely as professional as possible, saying, Tony had told us that he had not been out there in a week, and nobody, we'd let him kindly know that we could not get out there till the weekend, and this and that and all that. And then we get another email back saying how unprofessional we are, and the lady, the office noticed weeds not being cut, still up and stuff like that, and this not being done. And so my wife and this regional manager, I think their title, went back and forth like 4 or 5 times. All this stuff. So short story. The last email saying is, if you get out there and touch up on the weeds, we'll gladly approve your invoice and stuff like that. But however, in this case, you're being unprofessional. Like, unprofessional is, we did the service, nobody said anything. So a week later, by that time the weeds have already popped up because it's rained a couple times, and it's been warm here in South Texas. It's been in the 80s and 70s a lot lately, which is a little unseasonably warm here. So weeds grow. But unbeknownst to the regional manager, I guess the invoice had been seen by somebody else and was approved because we received our check on Thursday. So Thursday we went and cashed the check, and then that was it. We're done with them. So I mean, I'd hate the fact that we had to leave them and stuff like that, because at first I really liked the company and stuff like that and the way that they worked with us and everything, and I was happy that they decided to use us. But some customers just are not worth the trouble. So if you got a customer that's like that, there's always other customers out there. The way I see it, that's a time spot that we can, fill with residential customers or more grateful customers. So far, they're the only customer that's ever had any complaint with our work. In fact, we've had multiple customers send us thank you cards and send us text showing how, happy they were with our work and we went above and beyond and all this and that. So if you get that kind of messages from all your other clients and you have just one client that just does not seem to be happy with anything you do, that's them, that's not you. You're doing your job, and you have to remember at the end of the day, you're the professional, you're the one who knows what the grass and everything needs, you're the one cutting the lawn, not them. So if they complain about seeing 4 weeds and spots, a week after it's been cut, that's them, not you. So that's just something I just want to touch with, our little unpleasantry for the week. It is what it is. Life goes on. We'll find other customers. We're not losing any sleep over it. We got paid finally for the service that we did. That's all there is. So I'm going to get to work. It sounds like it's raining some more out there. So I might do some speed up stuff of everything I'm doing here. So see y'all. Alright guys, so it's Thursday afternoon, 5 o'clock. I just got back here to the storage unit. It's been a pretty busy week. I've been meaning to get here earlier, but I haven't had a chance to. I just got back from Northern Troll buying a new wrench so I can get that ball off because the threads are screwed up. But here's what I want to talk to y'all about. I split this video up into two. I had originally planned on making it one video, but me talking about why we fired the storage complex ended up being longer. So I'm gonna make this video about firing them, and then about our experience with Yelp. So where do I start? Okay, so if you remember our first video, cheap advertising our first job, I spoke about how we ordered door hangers from Vistaprint and how when we bought those from Vistaprint, they gave us a $300 coupon to Yelp for advertising. So we thought, okay, cool. You know, we've heard about Yelp. You know, Yelp is used to review businesses and stuff like that. So we thought, okay, cool. We'll advertise on there with this $300 coupon. So my wife had started setting up the account, but didn't finish. We never applied the coupon or anything like that. So fast forward a couple days, and I got a call from a woman who works with Yelp, who wanted to help me get the account finished, getting set up, and get that coupon applied and stuff like that. So at this point, I'm thinking, oh, cool, Yelp's a nice company so far. They're calling to help, get this set up and everything like that. Cool, So we go through this long process. I'm on the phone for about an hour with her about setting up this the account, stuff like that, applying the discount, and I only wanted to use just that coupon that we got. I didn't want to use my card, and we didn't plan on actually paying for any of the advertising from Yelp after that. Well, she told me that we had to put our card on file in order for me to use the discount, but not to worry because it wouldn't be charged unless the coupon was completely used, and I decided to continue the campaign. And the campaign was only going to run for that $300 coupon, and then it would expired. So I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine. That's good with us. And that's where the scam began. That's where the first lies that we were told. The second lie was when we set up the account. Well, it's not more of a lie, but something they did. You're supposed to set up the amount of cost per click or something like that, of how much your budget or whatever is used. And she told me, set it to $16. So that's why I put on the thing. Well, fast forward when, I'll get to it in a minute, but. So we did that and finished up the account. Great. She had me download the app and showed me how to check my budget and all that stuff. So here I am, we started that in October. And from October to the end of December, I would check the app daily to see how much that coupon I had left. And then, of course, when it was out, I was going to make sure everything was shut off. Well, January 1st comes around, and we get charged $216 from Yelp. At this point, me and my wife were like, what, why? Because I did the whole thing on speakerphone when I set up the account, and my wife heard everything too. So we called to dispute this charge, and essentially what I was told was the coupon had completely expired, even though according to my app it didn't, and that it was going off monthly, and it was always auto drafting monthly for that $300. But see, what they don't tell you is the $300 for the coupon is how much you set up, pretty much what you pay a month for Yelp. So we disputed this, and I turned off all of the ads and all that stuff, the advertising and stuff like that, and we disputed, and they wouldn't refund us the $216 that they charged us. At this point, I'm completely pissed at Yelp. We turned in a form. I talked to 5 or 6 people. They pretty much said, no. We reviewed the call, and we see no reason to give you a refund. And then they also refuse to send me a transcript of the call or a recording of the call, the original one when I set up the account. So, pretty much at the end of the last phone call I had with them, I cussed them out, said, okay, whatever, bye. Didn't mess with them again. And then fast forward to earlier this week on Monday. I thought, you know what? I don't trust Yelp, so I'm going to go ahead and remove my card information from the account and the website so they can't charge me again. I come to find out there's no way to do it on your end. You can't, not without them doing it. They have to remove the card information. So I'm like, okay. So I call them and say, hey, I want to remove my card information off of this account. And they say, oh yeah, no, we can do that. Oh, but it looks here you have a $230 balance. We can't remove your card until this balance is taken care of. So this is less than a month since they just charged me $216. And they said that now I have a $230 balance because it charged monthly. So apparently, even though I hadn't ran any ads, I turned them all off, and I had that $216 in ad budget that I haven't used that they wouldn't refund me. They still wanted another $230 just to remove my card. And on my account, on my billing details, it showed nothing about this charge at all. And they tried to give me some excuse saying, oh, we bill forward, and this is for January, and the $216 was for December. Even though it's still in December, I still had that $193 at the end of December that magically disappeared as soon as they billed me. So I sit there and said, no, I'm not paying any more money to y'all, and explained the whole situation. And the lady, once again, was, sorry, we can't remove your card until you pay this balance. So essentially what I had to do is I had to hang up on them and call my bank and cancel that card, that business card, so they can't draw out any money on it. Now, when I called originally to dispute the $216 charge, the lady had said that the price per click was $50 per click, which is not what I set. So they went and changed that without me knowing. And here's how I know for a fact that they changed it. Because after I hung up on them and I told them I was going to cancel my card and hung up on them, within 2 hours, I got emails from our business email from Yelp saying that I had started another advertising campaign. Whatever Yelp employee had went onto my account and started new advertising campaigns without my permission in order to try to bill me more money. So I closed the card out and I told the bank, hey, this is what's going on with them. I'm closing the card so they can't try to auto draft me anymore. So we're going to see what happens when they try to auto draft it for this next payment, whatever that's supposed to be on February 1st or, a couple days. So we'll see what happens there, see what kind of emails I get, whatever like that. But that's the scam that they run. And this whole time that we started out thinking about this, we thought that it was a good way to advertise and something like that, and it seemed simple and stuff like that. But apparently there's so much underhanded lying about the way that they charge their stuff and the way that they do the stuff on the accounts and stuff like that. It is one of the biggest scams I see to new business owners. And it's not just me. I've been getting a lot of Yelp advertisements on Facebook. And almost every single one of those advertisements, if you look on Facebook, almost every single one of those advertisements or the post for their business advertising on their Facebook page has multiple people saying stories just like mine. How Yelp stole money from them, overcharged them, wouldn't let them remove cars. I had one guy told me that they tried to charge him $2,700. So, stay away from Yelp. I made the mistake, we made the mistake, we thought it was going to be good, but apparently it wasn't. It's a scam. So please, if you're starting out fresh, new, don't take that $300 coupon. That's how they bait you into coming onto the account. They say, oh, okay, hey, look, here's $300 for free advertising. That's how they get you on. They get your card information so they can start scamming you. Don't do it. We made the mistake. Y'all don't have to. So if you're new into landscape and lawn maintenance like we are, don't take the bait. You can still use Vistaprint and all them. I'm sure that Yelp pays them to offer that discount, something like that, but they're not the ones scamming you. So you can still use Vistaprint and all them. They're just fine. You know, you order your stuff from them, but just don't use Yelp. It's a scam. So I got to finish this up tomorrow. We got a couple yards to do, and then I think we're gonna start the cleanup maybe on Saturday. Or maybe Saturday or maybe Sunday, I don't know. So I'll see y'all guys here tomorrow morning.